welcome guys to our podcast. We haven't really settled on the name yet, but I kind of named it Player versus Player Podcast. Um, Still up for debate of what it is. But yeah, I'm Evan. We have Devin and Marvante. So yeah, first thing first. Any specific games that you guys are looking forward to that are coming out? Like, you may have seen a bit, or well, anything in entertainment. There any like Metal Gear Solid 5 or any than that?
Yeah, a tiny bit. I've never been the biggest Metal Gear fan, but it looks good. It looks good.
What about you, Marv?
Yeah. Okay. I've I and the last time I've played Metal Gear was probably on a PSP when it was back on there, and but it didn't really bring my interest out. It really didn't. So I just didn't mess with it a lot. So
I've
yeah.
been playing Metal Gear Solid since I started with 2, and I've been playing it pretty much ever since. I've only ever completed one Metal Gear Solid game. As much as I do like the game, it's just I finished Metal Gear Solid 4, and that was the one I played like absolute like I sunk hours into that game. It was a lot of fun for me, and I'm really excited for 5 because it's more of an open world than it has ever been actually. But yeah, there is the Destiny Taken King. Anybody interested in that?
The what?
Destiny Taken King, the
Um,
deal, the expansion.
that's that's the expansion for Destiny. I think it looks cool. I've only played like a little bit of Destiny because I don't own the game. My stepbrother does, so I've only played a little bit of it, of the actual game. So it's just like, it could be fun if I get the game.
Uh, I know that you are pretty much a big fan of it, Marv. So like what parts are you looking forward to the new Taken King DLC?
um, some of the parts that I'm looking forward to are definitely the raids. When I played um the Destiny that's out right now, the original one. I really took my time with the raids because of the fact that everybody played them, everybody knew what to do and how to do it. Everybody, wanted that new piece of armor that was in the raid, and um, that 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 aspect of the game would really motivate me to just practice doing the raid with other people and just to really be just excited about beating it because I remember the first time I beat the raid, it took 2 hours, two plus hours to beat it. And for those of you that don't know what the raid is, it's basically a boss level, and it's six guys, six players that work together, and we go through stages, and we have to beat like mini bosses, and then the final stage is the final boss, and then after you get the final boss, it's like a reward system. And the thing about the reward system is it's random, so you're not gonna get the for sure gear that you want or that they offer you. So you kind of have to do it, and the only way that you can get it, the gear, is if you do it every week. It refreshes every week, every Tuesday. So I was always prepared to do the raid every Tuesday. So that's one of the
Now you see,
features
for I didn't know like it was 6 people for the raids. I'd never actually done any of the raids. Destiny was an okay game to me. It never stuck with me like everybody else. Yes, I'm not saying that like people who usually say stuff like that they hate Destiny. I don't hate Destiny. It's a good game. I played it. It was played on my channel. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, for somebody who doesn't have like who doesn't play the raids, like, would you recommend they do the Crucible more so? Because there's not the story there isn't really as exist. Like people probably know by now that it's not really a story based game. More of a you have fun. It's like a MMO. So like,
Yeah.
would you recommend that they just go Crucible?
Yes, definitely. Because in Crucible, you have a better chance of drops since it's the RNG system, random number generator. You have a better chance at drops. Like for example, I was playing Crucible one day and I was only like a level 26, and at the time the max level was 30, I believe, and the icebreaker dropped for me for and like for those that know, the icebreaker is really good sniper because it regenerates ammo after you use it, and it's an exotic weapon. So it was really a big thing at the time. Um, but definitely do the Crucible because you at in the earlier stages of your leveling, you may get crappy drops from level 1 through 18, but once you get over the light level, you start getting light. They'll start dropping better drops for you. So yeah, the Crucible is a much better place.
I mean, I've actually been thinking about picking up Destiny again, like when all the DLC stuff comes out. It's like for
Mhm.
all of the DLC and the game is like $60 when it comes out on like or 15 something like that. So yeah, I've been
Mhm.
definitely looking forward to that. What about have either of you heard of the Tom Clancy The Division?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it.
I went to E3. I got a chance to play it, and one thing I don't like when people do stuff is when they compare every game to like one big game. So they were comparing this to Destiny a lot, except for the people at the booth. They did not like that. Did not like saying that. Oh, this is like Destiny. Like they just gave this like look of disappointment when people said that. It was like, oh god, every game isn't Destiny. But like when the people Bungie who made Destiny don't like to compare it to MMOs, but that's exactly what it is. So
Yeah, but
then and that's all they say. They just and the people at that did the division, it was like, no, it's more of a just a open world MMO. Just think of it like that, not Destiny.
yeah, I myself have always compared Destiny to like a mix of Halo and Borderlands,
That's
and that's
exactly what I was saying.
like it's not an insult, but yeah, I guess that's like people don't want their games to be compared to games that like that are already existent, but that's kind of what you have to do in order to explain it to somebody who doesn't
Yeah,
know the game.
yeah. Like if you're just talking about, oh, this game is so great, but how do you explain it? If they played Destiny, they're like, oh yeah, that's really cool. But for somebody else, like, oh yeah, like if you were to just say it's like World of Warcraft, just like a third person shooter, people will get that. I guess yeah, to some extent you would just say, "Oh yeah, it's like this game or it's like that game." But I think the only thing that they were disappointed about was, man, we every game that comes out and that's open world and has like some type of pub thing or hub is automatically is now going to be Destiny. And I think that's
Mhm.
what they just didn't like.
Right.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I also thought that Destiny kind of had that likeness of Halo, to it, simply because it was made by Bungie, Halo.
Yeah,
And so it's gonna if you think about it, the same gaming company, they're gonna have those characteristics because that's their thing. That's their thing. But I think they were trying to come up with something new, and I guess to some extent, it's kind of like Halo. So
yeah,
That's actually exactly why I bought the game, for that fact alone. Like, okay, Bungie made this, and when I played the beta, I was like, okay, the beta is a lot of fun. But, like, I went into it assuming, oh, this is gonna be like similar to Halo, but not exactly like Halo, and that's what drew me into to that game. But what drew me into the Division, it was just that the options that you have, like, because in Destiny you can't just betray people, in the open world, but in the Division, what they were saying is, if anyone's seen the trailer, you can like you and like three people go. I don't know if there's a maximum number. I don't actually know. Yeah, I know there's like a party system, and you guys can go out and get loot and stuff. And but at the end, one of you can go rogue, just kill everyone and take everything. So yeah, and we were playing that kind of mode. We were playing it. I think you go into the dark zone and you find people, you find loot and get stuff. It's kind of like that game is a lot like if you mix Destiny and Borderlands. Destiny, well, I guess it's pretty much Destiny then because Destiny is has its own loot system, but
yeah.
without the whole betrayal thing that you have to look out for. And I had met somebody when I was there that we were gonna play the division when it comes out. Talking about that's all we're gonna ever do is that we're just gonna like take people out into the dark zone, kill them, take all their stuff. That's all the only thing we're ever gonna do. And
That's
it,
such a jerk move.
yeah, I know. I was like, and that's not even usually how I play. Usually, I'm like the paragon of goodness and everything, and I always like, no, don't do that. I was like, this game is different. I like it. I was like, you have you completely play your way. You can be the nice person, and actually, the thing is, you can actually make a mistake and become a bad guy and not even know it. Because you can shoot anybody, even if they are your friends. You can accidentally shoot them, well, except for you can get like help from random AI throughout the world, and they're considered good. And if you shoot them, you become like a rogue agent, and then they'll start shooting you. And then once you, however, I think once you die, it kind of restarts. But that's how it worked at E3. So yeah, there. So even if you don't want to be a bad guy, there's a chance of you accidentally doing that, which
So
is
it's a like a loot fest shooter with permanent friendly fire.
yeah, kind of like, but yeah, actually, yeah, you can even kill your own teammates. But we never actually did. We never killed each other. I don't think. I think that might have been turned off at the time because we could kill like the random friendlies that came to help us, but we couldn't kill each other. Or I don't think we ever actually truly did. I know we were shooting in each other's direction and no one died from it. So I think it was turned off for E3. But when the game does come out, it's friendly fire all around. But it has to be probably in the time like when there's a helicopter that picks up your loot and takes it out of the dark zone. So it's between the time of the helicopter actually coming down to extract your stuff and it leaving when you get to do like you get to kill the people you're with.
Ah, cool.
Nice.
I don't have my list here. Um, is there any other games you guys are looking forward to?
Final Fantasy VII remake.
Okay, now I never played Final Fantasy 7. I've played several Final Fantasy games. I've never played 7, and I heard it was like a really like the best one that ever exists. And
I wouldn't say that, but it's really good. It's really good.
yeah, I've seen like bits and pieces of it, and my only thought is like, is it gonna be like a full remake or is it gonna be just updated graphics and same thing over again? But I mean, 'cause there are people who want that, like, or there gonna be like some new features to it or something, or are they gonna give it like the whole next gen like treatment, which comes with well half-ass DLC maybe later, because
Yeah,
that's a big thing now. But
unfortunately, yeah, that is a big thing. If they do remake it, I hope they like update more than just the graphics. I hope they update like the battle system and the dialogue and stuff like that.
yeah, like to fit the newer Final Fantasies.
Yeah.
Because yeah, the newer Final Fantasies are they're getting better with making it more accessible for just anybody to play. Because if you look at Final Fantasy from the outside, if somebody's just randomly playing, it looks kind of complicated. From like when I first started playing it, I was like I didn't get the strategy system of it, and it was really weird for me.
Yeah, the old 2D games, like if you just look at some like a pro at that game, it just looks like so much work to do. And I've played older games, and they are harder to get into, but once you get them, you're just like so good with them.
Yeah,
But I do like how they're making Final Fantasy a bit more accessible. I just hope they don't like dumb it down so easy that
to make
any.
it super casual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Uh, another like Square game I'm looking forward to is Kingdom Hearts. I don't know if either of you are really into it, but that was like my childhood. That was like the amazing game from Square I've ever played next to Final Fantasy. Either of you actually played Kingdom Hearts at
I
all?
I played mostly through the first Kingdom Hearts, and I just thought it was an okay game. Nothing really spectacular stood out to me.
Yeah, I didn't touch the game at all. I,
It was a
I
nostalgia thing for me actually. It was like
yeah,
because those are all those characters and movies and stuff. I had I had been watching like tons when I was a kid, and also the fact that it was like an RPG that was like Final Fantasy, but not as hardcore as Final Fantasy. Like I had that was just a game I just loved playing.
Hmm, cool.
Okay, do either I know you play COD, Marv? Do you, Devin?
I play it here and there. I think it's a fun little first-person shooter.
Yeah, I like Call of Duty sometimes. Like I've gotten pretty much all of them, but it's one of those games that I'm like either if I really like it, I'll play it until like the next out. If I don't, I'll just stop playing it like 6 months after. And then everyone asks like, "What happened to your copy of Call of Duty?" It's like I sold it.
Hmm. Yeah, Call of Duty is
Yeah.
kind of similar to me. I've played most of the Call of Duty series. I have, um, let's see here, what was I gonna say? Similar to you, if I really like how it goes, then I'll play it more. If I don't, then I'll just play it just a little bit. Like, I wasn't the biggest fan of Black Ops, so like I finished the campaign and I didn't touch it after, but like I loved Modern Warfare 3 and I played the crap out of that. So it's like it seems like every other Call of Duty game that comes out, I seem to love.
Or maybe it's but like specific people. I think Activision did both of those, so I think you might like specifically the way Activision does things. Oh, wait,
Yeah,
no, Modern Warfare 3 wasn't Activision. That might have been
that
Treyarch
was
actually.
yeah, that was Treyarch.
See, I like I like both companies honestly, and Black Ops 3 is I'm looking forward to it. Black Ops 2 was fun for me, but
Oh yeah,
I that
definitely.
was like the one I sunk as many hours to as the Modern Warfare, which was like for me, and everyone says it's like the greatest one of all time. It at the time it was, and for what it was, and I would love to play like a HD remake for it, but we won't have to because we're getting backwards compatibility for Xbox One,
Yeah.
so you can play it again if you want. I would, but I would prefer they just do HD for it. And if it's just the textures and stuff, I wouldn't even care because that game was really good. It's the whole that was like at the time I only played Halo 3. Halo 3 was the only multiplayer game I actually played. And then from a friend of mine who I met in Halo 3 introduced me to Call of Duty, and there's been pretty much Call of Duty ever since. It killed Halo for me, and to some extent, like Halo 5 is coming out. I will play that, and I'm excited for it, but I'm not the same excited for it I used to be as I am for Call of Duty.
See, Halo 2 was the first game I ever played. Well, no, not the first game I ever played. First game I ever completed. So like Halo 5, that's like I'm like the only one of my friends who's like super excited for that game. So it's like, oh man, Halo 5, and they're just like, eh.
Halo 5 is this kind of a like I know a lot of older people are excited for it because that's what they pretty much played. Like that was like one of the first huge multiplayer games for a console. So everyone has been excited since Halo 2. Halo 2 was probably like the best one. I never actually played Halo 2. I played every Halo except for Halo 2. And when I tell people that they're like, how like then Halo 2 was the gold standard. How do you like? Why do you like Halo? Like, cause when I tell them I like Halo 3, they look at me funny. Like, not Halo 2. Halo 2 was the best one of all. I was like, okay, I never like can't really say that. Yeah, I get your point. But yeah, I've been told that it was Halo 2 was really good. I'll have to go back and play it, seeing that they did redo everything for it for in the Master Chief Collection. Is everything working for that now? I don't. I'm not.
Uh, I think so. Um,
I would hope so. It's been like a couple months right by now.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of complaints went out, you know. But me, with the Halo thing, uh, I I remember when I played Halo on the original Xbox, and I liked it. I mean, and that was the first Halo I've ever played, but I really liked it because it had the co-op, and I'm really big on co-op campaigns. I love it. If every game could be a co-op campaign, I
I
would
wish Fallout could
definitely.
be a co-op campaign.
Yeah, because I mean, you can just do so much. I feel like you could just it's more intense, more enemies. Because if it's just you just blow by and you just I'm just by myself. But then if you're with somebody, you communicate and enjoy each other and like, oh, I found this spot over here. Come over here, and it's kind it's really fun.
I mean,
And then again, it's yeah.
I'll be honest. The first time, like when we were playing Halo 1, I played Halo 1, so my Xbox broke. No joke, it broke. Like the plug started to smoke,
Oh
and then the
wow.
whole. This was like when the Xboxes like first came out, and they were crap.
Oh yeah.
Like, but they were good, but they like if you played them for too long, it was just done. Like the plug started melting, and then my Xbox, like I'm pretty sure it might have been a fire on inside because smoke started coming out the controller ports. So, yeah, I played Halo so much it broke my actual Xbox,
Wow.
so I
Yeah.
couldn't take it. And I agree with what you were saying, Marv, that it was the co-op thing that made Halo a big deal. It was that I could play with my friends and that's actually like one of the biggest games that my sister actually plays. And she doesn't play a ton of games. She actually no, the games she plays, she usually plays like Tomb Raider games or like Last of Us. Like I guess she's kind of a more of a Naughty Dog like fan. Like she likes those kind of games. I've never
Yeah.
been really that kind of a gamer because I never got into what is it Uncharted. That
Yeah.
everyone seems to love that game. I
Yeah.
played it and I was like, eh. And there's a HD collection coming out for all three of their games, and because the fourth one is coming out, I may pick up the HD thing so I can go through the story. But
Yeah.
the chances of that is unlikely. Like if I do, I'll just, oh yeah, let's play Uncharted 4. Maybe I don't know. I I've been it's been up for debate for quite some time. But yeah, Halo was like the first multiplayer game I ever played. A lot of fun, and Bungie owes me an Xbox, the original.
Uh, hey,
Yeah, like,
Halo was like my childhood. Like I had an Xbox. I still have my original Xbox, and it's even nowadays. I'll go back and play Halo 2 so freaking much.
I can't
I
believe yours
loved it
still
because
works.
I loved how it's like it was like I could have a co-op campaign with my friend, and then we could immediately, as soon as we're done, just switch over to local or online multiplayer and kill the crap out of each other.
Are people still playing like the normal Halo 2 servers?
Yeah, but not as much, obviously.
Probably not since the collection came out.
Oh no, since the Master Chief Collection came out, like very, very few people are on it.
Have either of you heard of like Just Cause?
Um, yeah, yeah, I really want Just Cause 2 to get me hyped for Just Cause 3 because I've seen gameplay of Just Cause 2 and it looks awesome, and just I'm kind of excited for Just Cause 3 to come out.
Yeah, I've seen people play the multiplayer and it looks like a lot is going on and it looks like a lot of fun, especially with the grappling hook. I've seen
Oh
people
yeah.
like just go from there. This guy was riding on top of a car, then he shoots onto like the grappling hook and blows up the helicopter. I was like, yeah, that's the game for me. It's like if they added all that to Grand Theft Auto, which people have done through like mods on PC, Grand Theft Auto might have stuck more. That was another game I wasn't super duper excited for. I mean, I played it. I played the campaign, but that whole multiplayer thing kind of got lost on me because in GTA there's no defined like multiplayer. It's just playing in multiplayer, just like playing campaign, just with your friends. So I never really got to that part with me.
Mm, yeah. But the grappling hook is probably like a huge selling point for Just Cause because it's like it's an awesome way to travel just in short distances. Because I've seen people like grapple onto the wings of planes and just fly over the map. Plus the fact that it has like a huge map is a good selling point too.
And the thing is, that's what most people talk about when they talk about Just Cause. The first thing they mention, the grappling hook. And when I was at before they did the reveal for it, we were I was at E3. We were talking about. I hope the grappling hook is in it. They better have the grappling hook in it. I was like, well, it's the biggest feature that everyone talks about. Of course, it's in the game. Like you have no worries about that. Like, but at first people were like, it has to have it. They're like, of course, they don't take stuff away like that. Not if you want a successful game. If they took that away, I don't know how many people would actually play the game. Because for everyone that I have talked to about the game, they were like, "That's the most fun I ever had was with the grappling hook." So pretty sure they're gonna keep it.
Yeah,
like taking zombies out of Black Ops.
Yeah,
Like take,
it would be like yeah, no zombies for Black Ops or any Call of Duty ever again. So it's a
yeah,
something that they've had. They know it's a good idea, so they'll keep it. Usually,
Usually.
I mean, no, there's been some people that have completely like messed up everything.
Yeah.
Like some people will take out key features that people like from the last game. Like that was the whole problem. Like Titanfall. Um,
Oh, Titanfall, yeah.
Titanfall, they blame it being a console Xbox only on their poor sales, not their game, and the fact they didn't have a campaign. They blame it solely on that. So Titanfall 2 is gonna be on all consoles. Like, so what happens when it's on all consoles and sells just as well? Like, what you gonna are you who you gonna blame then? Can't blame Xbox because the thing is, a lot of people like I was just looking at stuff. Even though PS4 sells more, Xbox 360, Xbox people they reserve more games. They pre-order games more. So I
Mm.
mean that's a like one of a big crowd. Like again, people have more PS4s, but Xbox users are really good. They're good. They will always pre-order stuff if they're interested.
Yeah.
Like
Also,
I was,
what were you saying?
yeah, I was. I mean, I was gonna say I was gonna piggyback off what you said. I was gonna think about myself pre-ordering Black Ops 3 since I'm just a big Call of Duty fan, and I mean that's kind of all I've played besides NBA 2K or some other game. But
No, I actually saw the 2K16 at E3. I didn't get to play it, but it was like that for some reason. Every time you go to E3, there is the largest line at EA, and EA always has tons of games. And I believe isn't 2K one of them?
Basically, any sports game is EA.
Yeah, it's like you could just take a shot in the dark. Yeah, it's I think yeah, because they always and it's always the same line, and they have it's not the same poster, but all their posters almost look identical to the year before that. Because before this year, I haven't been to E3 in like a year. Uh, well actually technically been 2 years, and their posters look almost identical. Like been 2 years and you still have the same design. Why? Because there's so many other things they could do with it. It's like the same one with the flame, like a fire background.
Yeah.
That was the one when the Miami Heat people were on the covers. That's still a thing now. Yeah, they're weird.
Yeah, EA's I think entire mottos should just be if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because that seems what they go by. Because it's everything they reveal. Every time I've watched E3, because I've never been to it, every time I watch it, it's nothing but like sports, guns, and cars.
Yeah, EA is definitely one of those people. Not to say they play it safe, but they found what they're good at and they stick with that, which is like EA and Dice with Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
I am looking forward to that game. That was another game. That was a game I'm pretty sure that was the thing that broke my PlayStation 2. Um, I played
Yeah.
Battlefront 2, 1 and 2 so much, and it was just like me and a friend. We would just play the campaign or like the like it was multiplayer, but I had never really gotten to the multiplayer at that time. But it was really we went through the campaign so many times, so much fun.
Yeah, I loved Battlefront 2. It's probably my favorite Star Wars game. I really want to see what DICE can do with the new Battlefront because they showed a trailer for it and the graphics look awesome. So I hope the gameplay's just as awesome.
And the one thing that people were disappointed was the space battles.
Oh yeah,
'Cause that
no
was
space
like such
battles.
an amazing thing. And part of me believes that they're like holding out and that'll eventually be in one of their DLC things. I hope it is. But the thing is, Dice is flying so good, so for them to not have a space thing, it doesn't really matter anymore because they're gonna have the X fighters, the all the other things in there. So even if they don't have space stuff, they have flight down, and is always gonna be amazing. And I'm also looking forward to they implemented a new system for the like the heroes of each side. I don't know how it's activated. I actually forgot, but like at certain points, you're building up to get that hero, and it's not like you have to fight over it with other people. I think it may be score or something like that. But I am looking forward to seeing like Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, and all the other people back again. And also there's the movie coming out. I'm definitely gonna see that movie. I don't even go to the movies that often anymore, but that's one I will go. I will definitely be seeing that on opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I never really. I mean, as far as Star Wars games go, I mean, the last Star Wars game I played was probably on Wii. Um, the Star Wars
There was a Star
Force
Wars on Wii.
Unleashed.
There were
Yeah,
multiple.
Oh wow.
yes, yeah. There was a one where the Force Unleashed, I believe, and you were this guy, this Skywalker guy or whatever, and
Star
you were
Killer.
Yeah,
Star
yeah.
Killer.
I played
You
both
were
of those
that guy.
games.
Yeah,
I
you
really
were that
loved
guy.
the first one.
Everyone said it
Yeah.
ruined Star Wars. That's what everybody's opinion on The Force Unleashed. It wasn't even they said it wasn't a great game. I was like, I beg to differ, but people's taste in games are different. But when it
Mhm.
comes to like I guess the older people who are super hardcore fans for Star Wars, it ruined Star Wars. That may be a little dramatic. I mean, it was, and then like people are not talking about games that do the whole thing where it's a they use the license and make a game around that license, not necessarily to a story, like what Shadow of Mordor did. But then it was criticized for that, and now people are like, "Oh yeah, that's the best idea ever." So the people who made the Force Unleashed are just shaking their heads like, "We did that, and everyone hated us for it."
Yeah.
So yeah, Marvel, what were you saying? I kind of cut you off there.
Oh no, I was just going back to saying that. And then I remember on Nintendo, I believe it was on Nintendo 64 when they had the little Star Wars game where he was racing with the
Oh, Star Wars
little
Pod
space.
Racers. Oh
Oh, pod
gosh.
racers.
I remember
Yeah.
playing that game in arcades at like movie theaters. They always had them at every movie theater, and I played that game so much. And I knew never to get it for the N64, and because I knew I'd just be sitting in front of there all day. But whenever I went to the movies, I made a point to always play that game. And honestly, I think the only game I never played for Star Wars. I think a lot of people uh it's broadcasted as stupid. Was the Star Wars Connect.
Oh, that sucked.
You played it?
I have, and it's like so broken and so stupid. It's so bad.
Yeah, I saw once I saw the trailer for it. Oh, okay. There's a little girl in there, and she's Darth Vader. Like, yeah, like even that wasn't even the part that threw me off. It was the fact that it was Connect, and it was like, yep, never gonna happen. Like people knew that that game was gonna be bad once they mentioned Connect, and I think this was after, like a while after Connect had been out, and they had made such big promises, like you're gonna be able to scan your skateboard into Connect. That never
Yeah.
happened, and the Connect was terrible at motion, and it pretty much still is. Just now that if you have an Xbox One, you just use it for
Eh.
just accessibility, like Xbox On or Xbox Go to YouTube. That's
Uh,
pretty much the only thing I use it for.
to be honest, I'm a big defender of the Kinect because I've had very few problems when I play games that work with it.
There are
Like
games that work with the Kinect. That's a
mainly the games that usually like come bundled with it or just like are like uh that aren't like licensed games, but like Connect Adventures, Connect Sports, or like any of the dancing games. Those usually work, and some others, but like I I never really have a problem with the motion controls, but everyone else seems to have problems with the motion controls. But it's just like, some people don't really like motion controls.
I know
I'm
that
I love them.
that for like the dancing games it works pretty well. But that's like a small crowd of people. So
Mm.
I mean it's not enough people to say, "Oh yeah, Connect is great," but they all seem to love Connect. Like or any of the motion detectors except for Wii. I don't really like Wii. I don't even know
Eh,
what happened to the like Wii like the Wii U was supposed to be like the Nintendo saver and it was really good. But then, like for YouTube, Nintendo pretty much killed any publicity or anything they would get by having. If you're gonna use Nintendo stuff, you have to sign a contract
Oh
to
yeah.
sign over pretty much almost all your money. And with YouTube, if you do YouTube, you know you make like little to no money off of anything. And for Nintendo to take like what is it another 30%? And if you
Yeah.
are with a multi-channel network like I am, I think I get I get 70% after YouTube. Then they take an additional like I think we have like a 70-30. So they take an additional 30. And if I want to play like Bayonetta or Mario Kart on my channel, that would be another 30% gone away. That means I have 10% of the revenue. That doesn't work out for me. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, Nintendo's been like on the crap end of being okay with like they've just been crap with copyright and fair use and stuff like that. A lot of other game developers like want people to play their games.
It's free
I think
publicity.
I think I think Nintendo wants it, but like they're just so crap at the copyright and infringement and all that stuff that they just like are just like, how is this happening? Why isn't the Wii U not selling? It's because no one's able to make a Let's Play on your game.
Yeah, it's because of the no, it's because of people who are and are
Oh
cussing
yeah.
and their parents are hearing this. I don't want them buying the Wii as a whole because one angry 12-year-old cussed out a video game. That's the deciding factor for every purchase. This child is
Right.
mad and I don't want that to be my child. Well, don't let video games raise your child and you'll be good. I mean, I problem solved.
Yeah.
But yeah, what the Wii I've had both Wii's. I have the Wii U and I had the original Wii. They were fun, but there is Wii is geared more towards like a big group. You want a group to play with when you have the Wii, and I never really got into the Wii, but I do like Mario Kart. I like Smash Brothers. That's the reason we like. I got like my family to get a Wii. I'm gonna play Smash Brothers when it
Uh,
comes out, and Mario Kart. I haven't
yeah.
touched
When
it because I can't put it on my channel.
yeah. Me and my friend we played Smash for a video. I'm still editing it, but like it's a lot of the games on the Wii U are actually really good. There's just no way to get good publicity for them, and a lot of the times, like you can't really play the Wii or Wii U, you're right, without like having a group of people with you. But like on the original Wii, there were some good single player games, like say No More Heroes or something like that.
No More Heroes was great. Even I
But
picked
like
up
on
it.
the Wii U, the only good single player game you have so far is Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, and I did like what they did. They included Bayonetta 1 in it. I think that was really cool. But
Yeah,
like, but again, how long have Nintendo been doing the copyright thing? That's like
I
they're
think it's
that's a relatively new thing, right?
I think it's like the big problems with Nintendo started back in 2012, 2013.
So yeah, it's like relatively new because I've seen people play stuff on the for Nintendo games for a while, and no one had ever like complained about it until they actually had this actual contract now. That now you have to just give them part of your revenue. But then when you think about it, it's either you give them part of your revenue or all of it because they can just take all your revenue. And I hate when stuff like that happens on YouTube because it's happened to me a few times, and it's never from like any big companies. It's like some random guy that no one's ever heard of, like because his song happened to play on the radio when I was playing the game, and I was just thinking about that. Like, what am I gonna do for Fallout 4? Because Fallout 4, it's a great game by itself, but the music is really what make it like immerses you in the game. I was like, is all of that music copywritten? Because I don't want to like just
Yeah.
have to. Because I've played Sunset Overdrive, and
Oh, that looks so good.
nearly all of that music. Well, not nearly all of it. All of it is copywritten. So I made this video of like they're like horde mode, and it did really good on my channel. But I kept having to take sound parts out of it because I didn't have the sound like separate from anything, and I had YouTube just take the sounds out of it. So like, I'm pretty sure at this point you can only hear every other word of that video. If people
Yeah.
still watch it and no one has said anything about it, like, but I'm pretty sure at this point it's word skip, word skip. But I guess it's the gameplay you're there for. But I mean, I'm not looking forward to stuff with Fallout because I was talking about it on my channel that I think what I'm gonna do is get like two like either two versions of the game for each console or just do two separate playthroughs. One where I can listen to the music and do whatever I want, and one specifically for my channel, which will never have any music on it whatsoever.
Yeah, I think like a lot of it is the music and the sounds in the games that cause all the copyright troubles. That's why in a lot of like Grand Theft Auto videos I see, they always like anytime they get in the car, they immediately shut the radio off because they know everything is copyrighted.
See, and one thing that I did notice, like, well, you know, when you done YouTube too long, when you're just watching TV, like, oh, that's a copyright. Because I was watching a movie the other day. I was like, that's a copyright. I was just sitting there, like, it had nothing to do, wasn't recording it or anything. I was like, copyright, copyright, and it just sticks into your mind. What's a copyright strike or a violation? And I hate that now. I hate that about myself now. Like, cause now, like, when you're watching stuff, and if you like, when you get to doing stuff, you're hypercritical about things, especially when it's something you. And now that whenever you do something, oh, I'm so worried about getting copyright or anything. Now you can't just some games. I believe Destiny. None of their music is copyrighted. Free for everybody to use. You can have music Destiny videos. Their background music they don't care. But when people like Grand Theft Auto and stuff, they're in like real people's music. It really makes it hard. Like because sometimes music is like a fun part. Like if you stream or anything, music is a big part of a lot of people's streams.
Yeah.
And with like the whole Amazon and Twitch thing taking over, they like put that thing on music where it'll mute it for 30 minutes, not even like just for the time it's heard. You'll have 30 minutes of video with no audio whatsoever.
Yeah, that sucks. I remember I got a bad copyright thing, and it wasn't even for video games. It was for like TV shows. I was doing like a top five countdown, and I was talking over like footage, and like four or five different companies I got a copyright thing for, and I was just like, God dang it. So now like no one can watch my video because these people don't know what fair use is, or at least the infringement system doesn't know what fair use is.
Did you do that? The one of
I tried, I failed.
yeah, okay. YouTubers all recommend that. I've tried it, got nowhere except for video. But there was this video. It was one for Watchdog. I didn't even hear the music myself. YouTube has an amazing copy of music copyright pickup. The music was so low, I didn't hear it myself. They picked it up, and it was from this like rapper that I had never heard of. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get rid of the video because it was gonna take all the revenue and then put his ads over my stuff. Like, I don't know who this. I was like getting rid of this music.
Mm, wow.
I remember I was playing a game that wasn't even an actual Nintendo game. That was I was playing Cat Mario on my channel, and uh, it's a rage game, and it's just a fan-made little thing to make people mad. I was playing it, and Nintendo flagged each and every video because it used like a different version of original like Mario music, and I was just like, it made me so mad.
Oh wow, they could do. It.
Yeah,
That's a
I guess any Nintendo games.
true. The new Star Fox, obviously.
Okay, you know what? I did not hear that game at E3. I've only heard bad things. Yeah, it's Star Fox. That's all anyone could say. It's like no one ever went to say, "Oh yeah, it's really great."
Yeah,
All everyone said was, "It's Star Fox." Okay, they were like we were in line talking to tough people, and a guy was like talking to someone. Eh, like okay, like
like
anything else?
depending on who you're talking to, that could be a good or a bad thing. Because there are some people who freaking love
Yeah,
every Star Fox game, and there are some people like me who think they're pretty good, but it's just like, yeah, they're just Star Fox. So
yeah, and that's basically what I got from it. Eh,
I think
Oh,
one of the big things turning people off of it is the fact that you have to use like the gyro controls for the Wii U pad in order to play it properly.
oh God, no. That will not be on my list of games to get then, because I never like gimmicky controllers. Like
Yeah.
what is it? The Oculus Rift. Have you seen? Like you're
No.
holding. It's like you're holding two donuts with joysticks.
Those,
Ridiculous.
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, I thought that was a joke at first. That can't really be a girl sport. Why would you do that to them? Why would you do that to anyone? That's just horrible.
Yeah. There
Uh,
was some sad news in Nintendo that I heard this week.
yeah, the guy he died at
Yeah,
55. Like
Iwata, he died. Yeah,
I
it
was like,
sucks.
whoa. I was like, one, that's way too young to be. But it was actually from it wasn't from natural causes. It was a problem in his body. I forgot what.
Who
That
died?
guy had basically CEO of Nintendo.
Oh wow.
Well,
Yeah,
not just the
Wow.
CEO, the president.
yeah, the president. Yeah, yeah. Basically, the guy who kept Nintendo relevant because
The g-
Wow.
he pretty
He's
much
on
changed.
every Nintendo Direct you've ever seen.
Yeah, and he basically saved Nintendo from themselves because Nintendo was going down, and within I was like within a year or two of him being there, he had became the president of the. He's the he was like one of the first people to not
Uh,
be in that family ran Nintendo to actually run Nintendo, and he did it so fast, so well that his death is going to be like a huge blow to.
yeah, like I remember reading one interview with him. He said he just kind of showed up and said, "Hey, can I like what was it? What was it? Develop a game or whatever?" And they just like, "Okay." And he had never developed a game before, and he just kind of eventually worked his way up really quickly. And it,
Yeah, he worked on he ended up working with the guy who created Smash Brothers, which was like the one of the biggest games for Nintendo, I believe. Wasn't that one of them?
yeah. He also worked on like I believe he worked on like the Star Fox games and he worked on like the Earthbound slash Mother series. So it's like he's everywhere in Nintendo, really.
Like pretty much every game for like since he started, which I think he's been there for like 10 years, 10, 15 years. It's been a while,
A
right?
while. He's been here. He's been president for a while.
And yeah, like ever since he's been there, he turned the company around because it was at a part. He was the reason for the Wii,
Yeah,
basically. For those who don't know, if it wasn't for him, the Wii wouldn't exist because Nintendo wasn't to that whole motion thing, and they didn't have a target audience anymore. He gave them that audience with like groups of people or kids, and he like I said he practically saved Nintendo of all his effort, and he like made games family friendly, made people actually interested in it. Yeah, that'll be like a, and I don't
yeah,
know if they knew about this about his illness or anything. Like I don't know if he was that kind of person that kept that stuff secret, or but like maybe he has a plan for them and like wrote out a plan to be able to get.
yeah. This is gonna be a huge blow, but I hope Nintendo keeps moving forward no matter what.
But like he didn't die, but Kojima like getting the boot.
Oh, Kojima.
I was like, how do you have Metal Gear without Kojima? And they had just put his name and logo back on the box. Like this week they took it back off. Like what is going over there at Konami? They're like did like I don't even know what
Oh
happened.
yeah, and then they canceled Silent Hills, which was one of the few horror games I was looking forward to.
Actually, there's a rumor that Microsoft is negotiating
Oh,
for.
I'm sure he'll get it made no matter what.
No, it's not owned by him.
I know,
Konami has the rights.
I know, but he'll basically in spirit get it correct.
Yeah, but and the guy who did the voice for Snake in Japanese one, the one who's he's the only person that's ever done the voice for him. Talking about I guess pretty much all of them are gone. Not just Konami. I mean, not just Kojima, but pretty much anybody that had to do with making of like any of the games. They're pretty much gone. So
Yeah.
yeah, and he was saying that this is the him and Kojima were saying this is the last true Metal Gear. Everyone, because it ain't it's not a game without Kojima because it's his game. He created this game. So for you to like keep it, they should just give him his game, let him go keep making games because they're trying to do like they're like gambling kind of games are big in Asia, or so in like and the Japanese area, and that's what Konami is going like through you console. We're like well they're a basic company, so we want more money and consoles and Metal Gear isn't like mobile games are. I understand it, but they should just give him his property.
Yeah. When I was talking about Silent Hills, it reminded me of more horror games. Like one I'm looking forward to that was released, I think Monday. A trailer for it was Five Nights at Freddy's 4.
Oh God. Oh. Okay. It's not that I like watching people play it. I don't like the guy who made.
Scott Cawthon.
Yeah, it's that making games are hard. I've made one before. In my experience, it's a hard process. But it like with the first three games, like they were saying that they've done worse every time the game came out. Like every new iteration, so less is that he rushed this. It was like he got on the hype train, and that's what sold his game.
Oh yeah, it's he did that with both with all three games. I think he like released a demo and a day or two later released the full game.
Yeah,
I hope that doesn't happen for Five Nights at Freddy's 4 because like this one's taking a lot longer than the other games to come out after their predecessor. So like Five Nights at Freddy's 2 only took a little while to come out. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 only a little while. So Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is coming out.
it's in
Hopefully
August.
it'll be better because it looks like he's decided to mix up the gameplay a little bit because it's the setting is not at any like
No, it's in like a house, I think.
yeah, it's at a house, so like no security cameras, I don't think. So hopefully things can get he makes it better than like the last two.
And I was hearing about like that they were thinking that the reason why it's taking so long is like that he's making the game better, trying to get. He's talking to YouTubers like the bigger YouTubers like PewDiePie.
PewDiePie, Markiplier, all
Yeah, the
them.
people who made his game so popular. Is like he's trying to get deals with them, I guess. Because that and there's also the movie, which I don't understand why there's a movie. I don't think it's enough content
I
to
th-
make a
I
movie out
think
of
I
it.
think it's not what's in the game that they're making the movie.
It's
It's
just the
because
theme.
of all the like lore and stuff that the fans
And it was
haven't
like
figured
lore
out.
he didn't put in, lore that he didn't even put in. Everybody else started making up lore for this, but he's actually planning on doing DLC for Five Nights.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's joining the AAA conspiracy unfinished games.
Oh God, I hate that. Like, the only DLC I ever agree that's a good thing is if you release a full game and then add something extra and different to it. Don't add the rest of the game.
Because it's kind of like The Witcher. The Witcher is a good game. It is a full game, and then now they've been giving out DLC every week since it came out, and then they're gonna add like the final two story, like add it to the campaign. Because I don't think how many people have finished the game. I haven't. Still playing it on my channel, and the only reason why there's no videos of it, many videos, is that I kind of lost track of where I was in the process. So, like when you record for such a long amount of time, and then you get back like I don't remember doing any of that, and so yeah, it's taken a while to get through The Witcher. But yeah, with the Five Nights at Freddy's thing, I've never played it. I don't think I'm ever play it, but I think for the fourth one, he's taken it was like more of the long haul. I think he was thinking about the in game because this is the last one, so you want it to be the best one that gets people to actually play the game instead of just watching people. So
Yeah, I've played the first and the third one, and they've they've been fine, but like nothing. They've both been like a bit too similar. But like he has the idea of like making the players stressed to get them flustered to fail and get scared and stuff like that. But I just hope he puts more, uh, just
Or
just
effort.
more in the game.
And the thing I'll watch anybody's play because I like watching sometimes watching people get scared. I'm not really a fan of horror games. I'm not really a fan of horror movies, which actually the quick talk about. I went to the movies like last Friday, and it all like most of the trailer were horror. The person I was with, all we could say is like, "Is this the same movie?" All of them were about the same exact thing. Family moves into a house, haunted. Family is haunted and dies. It's like 4 or 5 of those movies coming out between the end of this year and the beginning of next year.
Yeah,
All of them the same. I was like, what happened to all the
I,
creativity?
I was I was about to like at some point soon make a video on my second channel where I rant and talk about how horror is supposed to be done and how well it can be done. So you're not just like the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I like that video because even as a person that doesn't watch horror movies, I do know like the reason why horror movies are great. Because at one time, I mean, I'll watch them occasionally because well, horror movie and why not? It's like horror movies are like just a fun thing to watch. Like sometimes people actually like being so it's one of those things that well now people have exhausted all their ideas. Now we're just gonna say movie because basically it's like Paranormal Activity, all of them. Paranormal Activity, like now the template for everything. I hate found footage.
I don't hate found footage movies, but the uh, the template that you were talking about, the Paranormal Activity template, it does get old and it gets distracting to the actual movie if you just continue to make them. So found footage isn't the best way to go for horror movies, in my opinion.
You said you don't like that you're fine with found footage. Have you seen Cloverfield?
Yes, that movie was not that good.
Movie was that is my gold standard of bad movie. People, and I think that's why I can pretty much like any other movie. Like I like the Resident Evil movie. At me for that, but I like those movies. I don't know. I just I don't okay.
They're
I don't take
they're
them
not
seriously.
so as horror based as the
Action
games
based,
were.
yeah, they're action based, and people blame the movies for the way the games came. But it was two separate groups of people that made the. So you can't really say that the movies did that. People can do whatever they want because the game and the movie had nothing to do with each other, other than there's a virus and there's zombies. The people did what they wanted to, and Resident Evil did come out for actiony. But again, I still liked I like Resident Evil 5 and 6. I didn't like 4 as much, kind of slow. I never beat, but it wasn't a bad game. I just never.
Yeah, I liked six. I wasn't the biggest fan of five, but I really liked six, and I don't mind that it's more action based either because it just feels like the longer the series goes on, the more action based it's gonna get because the less scary you can make zombies.
Yeah, like how much more or how many jump scares can you? People aren't scared of much.
Yeah, when the first Resident Evils came out, like the idea of just like running around with low ammo, like feeling like you're always about to die was like how games are. Now it's just jump scare after jump scare after jump scare.
You know who
Oh
I
yeah.
think should make this
Hmm.
role? This role does an amazing job. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah,
Professionalism.
yeah. Uh, Visceral. Visceral. They do a good job with the space games.
Oh, Dead Space, yeah.
So I think they would do like even though apparently Dead Space didn't do all that great. Like, but I've been excited for it. I know tons of people that were excited for Dead Space. I played all of the Dead Spaces and
I played Dead Space 1 and 2, and I thought they were really good.
didn't finish the first one. I was at the end and something always sidetracked me. from finishing the every single time. Like I've played through the campaign twice, like two or three times, and when I get to the end, something happens. Like either it's a new game or a new system. Like the last time I was playing it, the Xbox One came out. I was like, oh well, and threw the controller. That was it. But yeah, I think they would do a good job. I mean, Capcom would probably that. But
Yeah,
I think if they want like to revitalize that Resident Evil on like what it was episodes, they would be the best people.
yeah. There was one game I don't know why it's being made. Really, it's Telltale's Minecraft Story Mode.
Yeah, everybody knows the story mode.
Yeah, it's I don't know why Telltale's making that.
It's a money thing.
Yeah, probably. I mean, their Walking Dead games were good, and
Their
so
Wolf
whereas like
Among Us, I haven't played it, but it looks like
I played a bit of it. It was really fun, but like Walking Dead and from the Borderlands were probably my favorite things they've done so far.
oh, so yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, what they haven't announced that I buy an instant is Dead Space 4. There's supposed to be a fourth one. No one has said anything about it. That'd be a game I'd play in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
Also, have either of you played Mirror's Edge?
I've played most of it.
I've never played Mirror's Edge.
My
Never.
God.
It's really fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's the same thing with like Resident Evil games that it was a like even though it wasn't co-op, I played it with my friend. Basically, we would play like we'd be on Xboxes and we'd play like the time trials together. And just like for like what I like about Resident Evil is not necessarily the gameplay itself, is the fact that you could do co-op. That's why I like the last two Resident Evils because they were co-op and you can play with other people. But yeah, Mirror's Edge was a really fun game. I'm looking forward to it. But the funny part is it's not a sequel. They said, but it's a prequel. But they basically say that it's not Mirror's Edge 2. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's a fun game. I saw a lot of it. And is there I guess out of time. Is there any last minute things you guys want to talk about before sign off?
No, not really.
What
you
about you,
guys.
Marv?
I don't know. I mean, just did you see the zombies trailer for Black Ops 3? Did you see that? Did you get to watch that?
No, honestly, I've been meaning to watch it and never actually did. What was it like?
It was, man. It was really crazy. It took the theme of it kind of took place in back in the day. Kind of the 1970s or so, maybe a while back, but it's like an old western type of theme, and but they had the guns were kind of futuristic, so they were kind of mixing it up. So it's a trailer you should check out, and I encourage anybody to check it out because it's pretty pretty nice.
I'll be honest. I'll say it was just another quick thing. I never really got into the Call of Duty Zombies
Yeah, same here.
Outside of War at War. Never got into it.
I only ever liked playing zombies with Black Ops 2. I didn't really like any of the other zombies because they were just like kind of boring to me.
Yeah, and I play with my friends. That's the only time I play it. Never got into it really outside of the original one, which was I got more into the Spec Ops missions from Modern Warfare 3 that everyone hated. I got
Oh
more into
yeah,
those than I did zombies, and everyone was mad that it wasn't zombies. Like, but I actually like those missions. Angry about it.
yeah. I love those missions too. They're every time I say that, people get mad at me, but I like the Spec Ops missions.
Yeah. All right. So before we go, if you want to check out anybody's channel, they should be down in the description. I don't know what because I'm also going to put this on YouTube. I don't know what video or game footage I'm gonna do. It might be the Binding of Isaac. Have either of you played Binding of Isaac at all?
Oh, that's one of the series I'm having on my channel. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I've been playing that a lot. That might be the footage I use, but for the people who are just listening, um, probably won't be missing much. But it'll be in either my channel or one of our channels. Um, so the link will be down in the description for where it is, because I'm still working on getting it uh, okayed by Apple to put on their podcast store. But yeah, link will be down in the description. Evan, do you want to like plug your YouTube channel real quick?
Yeah, my YouTube channel is Devin Numb Stuff. I do all sorts of kinds of things from gaming to reviews to top tens to comedy sketches. You can check that out if you want. Um, you know, just yeah.
All right, Marv, I know you don't have a YouTube channel, but
Yeah,
well, do you think you'll create one now that you're doing stuff for YouTube?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
because I
sure,
know you play
definitely.
like a lot of NBA, and there's a big following for NBA,
Yeah,
so you could probably get quite a bit of followers for that. So, and also I'm still trying to figure
yeah,
out like
yeah.
when's the best time to do uploads. Like, I was thinking either Saturday or Monday. Do either of you have any arguments with Saturday or Monday for it?
Nah, either's fine, honestly.
Okay. And for guys who are listening, I still don't really have a full set name of it. Did you either of you have a problem with player versus player? Is that cool with you guys?
That's fine.
All right. So unless any of you guys want to have any comments like about it, like what do you recommend? Like I said, I've talked about it before in another video. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.